What are directives in Angular? Directives in Angular allows to extend and modify the behavior and appearance of HTML elements. Directives are classified into four types: component directive, structural directive, attribute directive, and custom directive. What is component directive? This is a directive which is present in Angular application where each of the HTML page is associated with this directive. Component directive is a class with @component decorator, and it provides the metadata for the component. It contains selector, template URL, and styles URL. So I will go to app.component.ts file. So this is the component class, and it is decorated with @component decorator, which contains metadata like selector, template URL, and styles URL. So this is all about component directive. Next, what is structural directive? Structural directive allows to add or remove the element from the DOM, which manipulates the DOM elements. Structural directives are prefixed with asterisk symbol followed by the name. We have three different types of structural directive: ngFor, ngIf, and ngSwitch. So I will show example for each of them. What is ngIf structural directive? ngIf directive adds or removes the element from the DOM based on the Boolean value. So I will show example for ngIf condition. So first we have to go to HTML file. So here I will create one div element. So after this I will go to the browser. See, this is the div element. Now I will hide this div element based on the Boolean property. So first I will create one property inside the component class. So this is the component class. Here I will create one property and I will set the value to false. And then I will go to HTML file. So here I will use ngIf directive, and to this I will add the property. So if this property value is set to false, then this element will not be shown on the browser. If this property value is set to true, then it will be visible on the browser. So this property value is set to false, which means it will not be shown on the browser. So I will go to browser. See, here div element is hidden. So now I will set the property value to true in the component class. So here I will set the value to true, and then I will go to the browser. See, here div element is visible now. That is because we have set the property value to true. So this is example for ngIf condition. So now I will show the example for ngIf with else statements. So I will go to the HTML file. So here I will create else condition, and I will create one template reference variable. So for else condition, we have to make use of ng template. And now I will use this variable inside ng template. So this is the template reference variable. So now if this property value is set to true, then it will show this message. If this property value is set to false, then it will show this message on the browser. So now I will set the property value to true. So here it is true. So it will show this element on the browser. See, this is the if condition element. So now I will set the property value to false. So in this case, it will show else message. Okay. So I will go to the browser. See, here we are seeing the different message. So that is because we have set the property value to false. Okay. So this is example for ngIf with else statements. And now I will show example for ngIf with then statement and else statements. So for that I will go to HTML file. So here I will create then variable. So for this then statement I will use same ng template, and here I will use this variable. here I am changing the value. So here if this property value is set to true, then it will show then message. If this property value is set to false, then it will show else message. So now I will set the property value to true. So in this case it will show then message. So we'll go to the browser. See, here we can able to see the then message. So now I will set the property value to false. So here in this case, it will show else message. See, here we can able to see else message. Okay, so this is all about ng if with else and then messages. So now I will show example for ng if with and operator. So in class file, I will create another property. Okay, and I will use this property inside the development. So I will go to the browser. See, here we cannot see that element. So if both the property values are true, then only it will show this element on the browser, or else it will not show that message. So we'll go to the browser. See, now we can able to see the development. So now I will set one of the property value to false. So in that case, it will not show the message on the browser. So I will go to the browser. See, development is hidden. Okay, so this is all about ng if with and operator. And now I will show example for ng if with or operator. So for this, we have to change the operator symbol. So here we have to change to this symbol, and here if any of the property value is true, then it will show this message. If both the property values are false, then it will not show the message. So here one of the property value is true, so now it will show the message. See, here we can able to see the message. Now I will set the both the property values to false. So now in this case it will not show this development on the browser. See, development is hidden. In case of OR operator, if any of the property value is true, then it will show this message. So if both the property values are false, then this div element will be hidden on the browser. Okay, so this is all about ng if structural directive. So now what is ng for directive in Angular? Ng for is a built-in structural directive which modifies the DOM element and it is used to iterate over a collection. So I will show example for ng for. So here I will create one employee object. So I will use this employee object inside the HTML file. So here I will use unordered list, and here I will use ng for. So this is a variable which holds information about this employee object. So with that variable, I will access employee object property. So here I will access name property. So after this, I will go to the browser. See, here we can able to see the values. So these are the values we are getting from the component class, and we are displaying on the browser using unordered list with ng for directive. So this is example for ng for directive. So ng for provide the local variables. We have index, we have first, we have last, even, and odd. So I will show example for all of them. So here I will use index. So it will give the index position of an element. So this index will give the index position. So I will go to the browser. See here we are getting the index position. Okay. And now I will show example for first. So this first variable will return true for the first element, and for rest of the elements it will return false. So I will go to the browser. See here it is returning true for the first element, and for remaining elements it is returning false. And in the same way we can make use of last. So it will return true for the last element, and for rest of the elements it will return false. See, for the last element it is returning true, and for rest of the elements it is returning false. So in the same way we can make use of even. So these will return true for the even elements, and for odd elements it will return false. See, it is true and it is true, and this one is false because it is an odd element. So this is example for even. And in the same way we can make use of odd. So it will return true for the odd elements, and it will return false for the even elements. See, it is true for the odd element, and these are the even elements for which it is returning true. So this is example for odd. Okay, so this is all about ng for directive. Next, what is ng-switch directive in Angular? Ng-switch is a built-in structural directive which is used to conditionally render the content based on the multiple expression. So there are three important elements of ng-switch. We have ng-switch, ng-switch case, and ng-switch default. So I will show example for this one. So here I will add one property, and then I will use this property inside the HTML file. So here I will use that property. Here we have to set the value. So if this property value is Venkat, then it will show this message. If the property value is Ramu, it will show this message. So if the property value is not Venkat or Ramu, then it will show this default message. So after this, I will go to the browser. See here we can able to see the message. Okay. So we are seeing this message because we have set the property value to Venkat. Now I will change the value to Ramu. So now in this case, it will show this message. See, and now I will change the value to ABC. So since this value doesn't match with any of these two values, so it will show this default message. See, here we can able to see the default message. So this is all about ng-switch in Angular. Next, what is attribute directive in Angular? Attribute directive in Angular changes the behavior of HTML elements. It is denoted by square brackets. In Angular, we have two types of attribute directive. We have ng-style and ng-class. What is ng-style directive in Angular? ng-style directive allows to set the styles and CSS property to DOM elements. We can pass the dynamic values to the variables. So now I will show example for ng-style. So here I will create one div element, and then I will use ng style directive. And here we have to use curly braces. Inside this, we have to use single quotes, and we have to set the value. So this should also be in single quotes. So now I am changing the background color of div to red. See, here it is changing to red. So now I will change the color of this content. So here we can set the multiple properties. So after this, we have to go to the browser. See, color is changing to white. So here with the help of ng style, we can set the multiple styles properties. Okay. So now I will show you example for ng style with dynamic property. Okay. So first I will go to the component class. So here I will assign this property value to red, and then I will use this property inside the div element. So here I will remove this and I will use one variable. So here I will remove this value and I will use property. So after this I will go to the browser. See, here it is working fine. Okay, so now here in this case we are using the property instead of static value. So this is all about ng style in Angular. What is ng class directive in Angular? So ng class directive allows to set a class name for an element. So now I will show example for ng class. So for this we have to go to SCSS file. So here we have to create one class. I will use aqua, and then I will use this class inside the HTML file. So in order to use, we have to make use of ng class, and within single quotes we have to use that class name. Then only it will work, or else it will not work. So after this, you have to go to the browser. See, color is changing to aqua. So now I will change the color of this content. So for this, I will create another class. And then I will use this class inside the HTML file. So here we can set the multiple classes. So if you go to the browser, see, color is changing to white. Okay. So here instead of specifying the static value, we can create property inside the component class, and we can use that property inside the ng class. So I will create one property, and then I will assign this value. Okay. And after this, I will use this property inside the ng class. This should not be inside the single quotes. So now I will go to the browser. See, it is working fine. So this is all about ng class in Angular.